Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Now I'm going to show you how to make a image energy field. So we're going to make a three-dimensional representation of an energy field. And what we're going to try and do here is extreme abilities, which means you want to energize all of your abilities to a higher level. You then want to get a Polaroid picture as we show here, and as well of yourself. It's always good to put a little hair on it if you can. Make it strong because you're going to be sending energy to it. But this is a... Now you want to shift. Use any kind of shifting tool you have. Anything that you want to move away from thinking about the common world into the more altered state here, at least very slightly, but a little bit. So you want to kind of clear your mind of the common day-to-day and start thinking about something else. So you do that for a few minutes. And as I said, that can be whatever you have. You should have several shifting tools. They're important to have, whatever they may be. So anything that gets your attention for a short period of time. So once you've done that and now you're ready, this is not a thinking process, so stop thinking. Keep your mind excuse me, out of the process entirely. So, as I said, we're creating a energy field, a three-dimensional representation of extreme abilities. So, not you think, you picture, you see something, you picture yourself. All this stuff is very caught into the common reality of your mind, which can't manifest anything. Now, that common mind then moves over into your actually inner magical being, which then has to manifest. But you're going through that conflict. It's going through a filter. Things are much stronger if it isn't a filter. And what your inner magical being recognizes is pure shape and energy. I mean, to a large extent, that's what sigils are all about. It's an energy, it's a shape, vibrational, informational field. There are other things connected to it, things in there, but what we've done is take actual images that represent things to make sigils, and we put all these together in one sigil. So there isn't words in there generally. This is very rare occasionally. There aren't commands. We do put some, we're now putting in actually some radionic rates, but radionic rates are, even though they're numbers, they're kind of strange. Excuse me. So they're not really numbers. I mean, you're not adding up columns to get radionic rates, so they're based through a machine, which in itself is shape vibrational. Now, there are straight shape vibrational things. These are generally called pyramids. It's the shape of the pyramid that makes it work. It can be made out of anything, from blocks of sandstone, metal, you name it. Pyramids work because of the shape, not because of the material. So you want to go into a neutral area. It's probably a good idea to play some neutral music, relax, take a couple of minutes to disconnect, as I've mentioned, and then you just go ahead and do it. Don't think about anything. What you're doing is just let it flow. You should try and get into it, maybe have a little drink, a little smoke, whatever it is to kind of even you out even after the shifting. And then what you do is you just grab any of these. You're not looking for colors or anything. Don't even look at it. You just grab it and just put it in. Grab it and put it in. Grab it and put it in. And you're not thinking of anything. You're not trying to, I'm going to line things up. I want it to looky pretty. None of that stuff. Here's a small one I just grabbed. So you go in there and you don't even look at the colors. Just bring out what it is. And you keep going and going for as long as you want. You don't want to fill this up, but you do want to put a fair amount in here of what you feel. And don't get into lines. Let it all flow, as he said. It's hard to do this when you're talking, obviously. But you just want to disconnect and, think of Sacred Temple. Think of the Guild logo. Connect it to something higher that you feel is a high empowered state. But we're thinking about generally here. You're not thinking really about anything. We've already made the energy is here. This is for extreme abilities. Your picture is there, and you just do this. Now, this is extremely simple. So you just do it. As I said, don't try and make patterns. Don't try and do anything. Just let it guide you where you're going to go. Don't look for colors. Just stick your fingers in there and grab whatever comes into your... It's kind of like divination. And then place it where you think it should go. Just without... Well, you shouldn't even be thinking. You just place it on there. And whatever that color may be to do that with. Now, with this particular setup, and these things will probably vary... you want to fill up mostly the large ones here. There isn't that many smaller ones. If you want to grab some of the smaller ones or feel compelled to do that, well, in this particular tool that we're using, there isn't that many smaller ones compared to the bigger ones, and they're harder to grab. So you just do it. As I said, you're not looking for colors. You're not trying to make lines. You're just putting the energies there. As simple as that. So you can put a lot, you can put a little. It should be relatively substantial, but there is no right or wrong. This is an energy field for extreme abilities for you personally. It's as simple as that. The colors don't mean anything to anybody else. The pattern doesn't mean anything to anybody else. But that's it. So you stop when you feel that you have reached the energy level or the shape that you feel is good. Maybe you want to put a little more small ones in here to create whatever may be what you like there. But again, you're not doing anything. You're not forming lines. You're not putting certain colors in. You're grabbing and placing. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going to leave it at that right now. Then you just close this up. Now these can become a big mess, so make sure you close it up and it's firm. And you're done. Now your picture is underneath here. Let's open that up. So your picture and what you've written is underneath there. So, I don't know if you can see it a little better here. Oops. You can see how fragile it is. You have to be a little bit careful there. I banged it, so you got that. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Maybe it should have been banged. This rearranges things a little better and a little different pattern. Maybe you needed that. But, you know, again, there is no right or wrong. And as I said, these things they don't fit in firm. It depends what tool we use. We're gonna use different tools depending on availability. And these things vary dramatically of what we can get and not get based on what is reasonably priced at. They're a finding in general. This happens to be a particular type of little puzzle here. But as I said, you have your picture underneath. You have this on here. And you're done. Now, what you want to do is put both hands on here and draw the energy into you for approximately the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're done. Now you have just drawn in huge amounts of extreme abilities, energy into you. And now you should do that daily. Generally, you keep something like this anywhere from 10 days to a month easily. You can go even longer than that if you want. If you feel it's good and you feel